So it has been a very, very, very long time since I've discussed the topic of pornography here on my channel. If you've been subscribed to me for more than 3 years, or if you've known me or watched me for more than 3 years, you would know that I went through a very, very big, deep religious transition where I used to be at 15 and 16 years old, I grew up in a religious family, all my family is religious. I grew up with these certain beliefs about sex, pornography, women, all of these different things that I was taught in religion that these things were wrong. That, masturbation as a young, horny 15, 16-year-old male was considered wrong, and that if I did masturbate, it was sin, and if it was sin, it was bad, and if it was bad, I would feel guilty because I was taught not to do these things. So all growing up, in my adolescent years, I was very repressed. I didn't really know how to handle a lot of the things that were being thrown at me, such as pornography and women wanting to be in a relationship with me and wanting to have sex with me and me wanting to have sex with them, and all of those wishy-washy, hard adolescent years. I went through it, and it was hard as hell. But because I went through it, and because I went from a Christian and then went to a deist and then went to an agnostic and then went to an atheist, a lot of my opinions about the world, evolution, abortion, my views, my opinions have changed dramatically on how I view things. That being said, I think it's about time that I talk about pornography and my views of pornography, because over the course of 3 to 4 years, they have changed quite dramatically from an ultra-conservative view to I don't care what you watch, what you do, or what you do with your sexuality, as long as it doesn't affect me or hurt other people in a negative way. So first things first, I do not watch pornography on a regular basis. In fact, I rarely, if not ever, watch pornography, because I don't really find an appeal to it. I have a problem when I watch pornography because it's fake. And if there's one thing about myself that I cannot stand, is watching things that are fake, especially in regards to sex, sexuality, your sexuality, my sexuality. And when you pull up a video and you see two people fucking going at it, I just don't see the appeal of it, because I know, for one, it's acted. And because it's acted, because they're being paid to do pornography, I don't feel a sense of, I guess you could say, horniness. Like, it doesn't really, I just kind of look at it like, yeah, these are two people banging each other. They're being paid. It's acted. It's fake. So what? Why do so many people love pornography? Now, don't get me wrong. If you like pornography, I don't care. If you watch pornography, I don't care. But for some reason, for me, I just don't find the appeal or what is so interesting about it, because it's not real. I mean, let's be honest for a moment. When a man is having sex with a woman in pornography and it's acted and it's paid, she's sitting there and she's going like, "Ay, oh, ay, oh." That's not realistic. At least in my personal sexual experiences, most people do not make those sorts of crazy baby goat, dog and heat, duck mating sounds. I mean, it's just like, it's so, I look at him like, really? I don't know. I think you get what I'm trying to say. It's too fake for me, and if I'm going to watch pornography, I would rather watch pornography between two couples, or a lesbian couple who truly love one another, like, are actually couples, and they film it. I just find that that's a lot more passionate and a lot more real than pornography for the most part. I think one of the greatest problems with pornography, however, though, is if you are young, specifically in your adolescence, 13, 14, 15 years of age, and you stumble across pornography like I did by accident, you actually, if you start watching it like I did at my age, you start to think that this is how sex really is. And that's the one negative thing that I have about pornography, is well, actually I have more than just that, but the negative thing is how young men, or maybe even women, perceive sex by watching pornography when it's not real, and that's not how a real relationship, and by real relationship, I mean a relationship where these two people love one another, and it's a real, passionate love-making experience, whereas it's pornography, and I just don't feel that same connection with pornography that I would do with actually having sex with someone or watching an actual couple who love one another have sex. I actually have a few friends of mine who are in a relationship with a girl, and and this is cool that some couples can do this, but this is not me. They sit there and they watch pornography with one another, and they get off on it. just them as a couple sitting watching pornography, and I'm like, man, that's cool that you can do that, because that does not work for me. Like, I would be, if I'm sitting with my partner, I want to just ravish her, put my hands all over her, and I just want to be everything for her in terms of what she needs sexually, rather than just sit there and both enjoy watching pornography together. That's not me. Another thing that kind of bothers me about pornography is I hate how it portrays... I have to be careful on how I say this, because if someone's watching this and they're in the pornography industry, I'm not trying to insult you, but I have a problem with how a lot of porn stars or porn models are portrayed within pornography itself. And what I mean by this is, when you get photos, you pose in certain ways and to make your body look like this perfect thing. It's, I guess you could call it kind of like Hollywood standard of an actress. What I mean by that is that you have to be a certain weight, you have to look a certain way, and I would say that pornography is a lot more diverse, and it's a lot more accepting of people of different sizes. But even in pornography, from what I've seen and what I've watched and what I've studied about it, there's still kind of this stigma that you need to be super, super thin. Although it's a little more lax than Hollywood, I don't like that portrayal. I don't like it when some company or area of a company says that you need to look a certain way in order to do your job, in order to do a passion of yours, whether that's in the pornography industry or not. I just cannot stand that image that women sometimes have to meet, or even men for that matter, because men, for the most part in pornography, are extremely ripped. And by ripped, I mean their shoulders are like 10 times bigger than mine. They're humongous. And you see, I'm this type of guy who I love the female body. But what I love about the female body more than anything is the imperfections of it. And that's not something that you see a whole lot within pornography itself, is you see all these perfect models or perfect looking female bodies that are so perfect, and they're blemished up, and they're posing certain ways to make that little, you know, piece of extra skin on their body not show in the photo or not show in the video. And I'm like, I want to see a person for who they are, physically, in terms of nudity, not trying to pose or be a certain way in order to fit a certain image to make yourself look good for that specific pornographic tape or photo. I feel as if I'm not making my point very clear, but what I'm trying to really say here is that I like imperfections of a female body, and whether that's cellulite, whether that's her thighs touching one another, like, just to give you a little weaknesses about me, fishnets make me melt, mini skirts make me melt, thighs that touch. That is my number one weakness. I will be honest with you. It is very, this mind is a place of that's very, very dirty, very, very sexual, but for the most part, I keep it contained in my head, and I usually don't put it into words. But I have a lot of weaknesses. Why am I even talking about fishnets, and I don't even know why, where was I going with this? I don't even know. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. Imperfections on the female body are sexy as hell. I love them. And I wish pornography would portray those types of imperfections, like cellulite, you know, a woman being more curvier, you know, not having to meet this certain, she has to be looking this way in order to be qualified for this pornography. I don't like that. Those would be my only two negative really things about pornography itself. But overall, if you watch pornography, and if you like it, that's awesome, but it's really just not for me. And if I'm gonna watch pornography, if I'm actually gonna sit down and watch pornography, it has to be lesbian porn. It has to be that. Because for some reason, seeing a man's junk, seeing a man's penis is just not for me. Like, I like my own penis, don't get me wrong. I look at myself in the mirror all the time, and I flex my muscles and my butt cheeks, and I have really petite butt cheeks, by the way. Not that you wanted to know that, but I just don't like seeing men's junk or men's penises, or and I'm not shaming male bodies, it's not my thing. That's why if I'm gonna watch pornography, I'd rather see two lesbians go at it, which is a lot more appealing to me than seeing a man go on a man, or a man even for the most part go on a woman, because I just don't like seeing other testicles and penises other than myself. And you see, that's the crazy thing. 4 years ago, I would never have been saying the things that I have said in this video regarding couples watching pornography together. When I was religious, man, people watching this video right now, when I was religious, I was the biggest slut shamer you can imagine. In fact, I would put guys down for taking off their shirts in a Facebook photo. Or if they posted a photo, you know, with their workout, or if a girl posted a photo on her Facebook showing any sort of amount of cleavage, I would be like, wow, what a trashy woman, or what a whore, or what a slut. That used to be me. And the reason I'm telling you that is because religion made me super judgmental towards sexuality. It made me shame people for being who they are. And I was so wrong for doing that. I was so wrong with my views regarding pornography, about judging a couple if they want to partake in pornography, or they want to do webcams, or want to do things on the internet, or they want to post photos of themselves showing off their body. You know, and I was wrong. I, Daniel Sulzbach, was wrong for that type of behavior. And thankfully, after I left religion completely, my entire worldview, how I view sex, how I view sexuality, how I view pornography, how I view so much about the world has changed. And because of that, I am a better person, more understanding, more open, and I am completely confident with sex positivity. Embrace your sexuality, show your sexuality, and be confident with who you are. Thank you guys for watching.